Welcome to the Stock Guy Analysis. All right, let's talk about January 15th. Bitmine Immersion, BMNR, they're holding this event. But listen, this is not your ordinary corporate update. Not even close. All the signs are pointing to a massive market spectacle, like a carefully orchestrated performance with billions. And I mean billions of dollars at stake. So, let's break down what's really going on here. So, let's just get this out of the way right from the start. We are not talking about some boring shareholder meeting with, stale coffee and a deck of endless PowerPoint slides. No way. The sheer scale, the expense, the pure theatricality of what they're planning, it's all screaming that this is something way, way bigger. This isn't about picking a new accounting firm. This is about them trying to redefine their entire place in the world. The market actually has a word for this, and it's just perfect. It's a coronation. Yeah, think about that. This is a company that's getting ready to climb to a whole new level in the global food chain, and they're making damn sure the whole world is watching. The ambition here is just breathtaking. And this is our first real clue. A heavy cream colored envelope with actual gold leaf embossing. I mean, think about it. In today's world, you don't send a physical gold leaf invitation for a routine conference call. You just don't. You do it when you want to send a signal that is absolutely impossible to ignore. A signal that says what we have to say is so important it demands your physical presence. This is pure corporate theater, and believe me, it's just the beginning. Okay, so that golden ticket, that's our starting point. Let's treat that fancy invitation as the clue that kicks off this whole investigation. And this is where the mystery starts to meet reality. If you dig deep, and I mean deep, into a boring SEC filing, you find this one little phrase. And when you put that quiet promise of a special presentation together with those over-the-top invitations, well, that's all the confirmation you need. Something absolutely massive is in the works. All right, so let's start decoding the clues because this company is leaving a trail. We're going to treat this just like an investigative briefing looking at the choices they've made, the venue, the timing, and of course, the money. First up, the venue, the Wynn in Las Vegas. We're talking a reported $2 million price tag for this shindig. And look, this isn't just any fancy hotel. It's the spot where sovereign wealth funds, we're talking nation-state level money, do their business. The message couldn't be clearer. BMR isn't coming to Vegas to gamble. They're coming to show everyone that they are the house. And then there's the timing, which is just chef's kiss. It's genius. They scheduled this right after the huge consumer electronics show, CES, wraps up in Vegas. Now, that's not a coincidence, right? It means the CEOs of NVIDIA, Microsoft, all the big dogs in tech, they're already in town, probably sticking around for those quiet backroom deals. And BMNR just slides right in. And what's fueling all of this? This number, $12 billion. That's not revenue. That's not market cap. That's the value of their treasury, their war chest. And a number like that, well, it changes everything. So to put that number into perspective for you, BMNR holds over 3% of the entire global supply of Ethereum. Think about that. That's not corporate buying power. That's small nation-state buying power. And that really adds a lot of weight to this whole sovereign wealth fund theory. Especially when you find out their executive flight logs show trips to places like Doha and Abu Dhabi. The pieces start to fit. So, okay, the stage is set perfectly. The money's there. The timing's perfect. The venue is a power move. So, were they actually going to announce at this special presentation? Well, the market is expecting a 1, 2, 3 punch. A series of reveals we can break down into 3 main pillars. Pillar number 1, they're going to launch Maven, their big made in America validator network. And don't be surprised if you see a Wall Street giant like a BlackRock or Fidelity right there on stage with them. Pillar 2, they'll make that sovereign wealth fund partnership official. And then Pillar 3, this is the wild card, a major pivot into AI infrastructure. So why AI? Why is that pivot the big wild card? It's simple. It all comes down to how the market values companies. A crypto miner, you're lucky to trade at, say, 5 times your earnings. But an AI infrastructure company, those can trade for 30 times their revenue. Not earnings, revenue. The difference is just it's astronomical. And that is the holy grail they're chasing. It's a financial term called multiple expansion. All it means is you get the market to completely reclassify you to see you in a new, much more valuable category. If BMNR can pull this off and convince investors they're a serious AI player, boom, it could trigger a massive, almost automatic surge in their stock price. But wait, there's more. There's another layer to this whole strategy. Kind of a secret weapon that's been hidden in plain sight right back in those boring corporate filings. So, you got the 3 big announcements, right? But what's the real hidden alpha here? What's the secret ingredient that has the serious money so excited? What's the thing that could take this to a whole other level? Well, let's go back to that proxy statement one more time. We're looking at Proposal 4. It's filled with a bunch of dense financial jargon, but there's one phrase that just jumps off the page. Strategic collateral realization. So what on earth does that mean? I'll give it to you in one word: leverage. They're getting permission from their shareholders to borrow against that massive $12 billion crypto stash. They're basically turning a giant pile of digital gold into a powerful financial weapon they can use to make even bigger and bolder moves. So you put it all together, the clues, the announcements, the secret weapon, what does it all add up to? We are heading for a seriously high-stakes finale here, where the outcome for investors could be, well, incredibly dramatic, and really it all boils down to 2 very different scenarios. It feels totally binary. The bull case, they knock it out of the park. They deliver on everything and become this new kind of global giant. The bear case, it's a classic by the rumor, sell the news event. If the announcements are anything less than spectacular, the stock could absolutely get crushed. But there's a really fascinating counterargument to the idea that this whole thing is just a giant hype bubble. And it all comes down to one little number. Right now, the stock is trading at just 2 times its earnings. Yeah, you heard that right. 2 times earnings. The average for the S&P 500 is over 20. So, the argument goes that this isn't some bubble filled with hot air. It's actually built on a solid foundation of real tangible value that could act as a kind of safety net for investors. And check this out. Recent daily trading volume hit $1.8 billion. You don't see numbers like that unless huge institutional funds are quietly taking their positions. So when you add it all up, the golden tickets, the perfect timing, the 3 big announcements, and that secret leverage, it's all pointing to January 15th being a massive make or breakout moment. Which leaves us with a big question, right? Is this the Super Bowl of crypto, or is it the ultimate hype bubble just waiting to pop? I guess all we can do now is grab our popcorn and get ready for the show. Thanks for exploring this with me today. If you found this breakdown helpful, do me a favor and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Join the community and catch every new explainer as it drops.